Start your engines. Today we are going racing in my Monstropolis toy box. I always like to have multiple things to do in my toy boxes because it takes so long to load them up. And so once a toy box is loaded, I want to play in it as long as possible. And since this is a city toy box and I needed roads for it anyway, it just made sense to build a race. Before we can race, though, we need to implement a little bit of logic for it. First, we need a car to race in, and I want to be able to add and remove that car from the toy box dynamically in order to save memory. You don't want to leave toys sitting around that you're not using because it just takes up memory. And so we'll provide a way to add a car and then take it out when we're done with it. Second, we need some vehicle weapon generators to make the race more interesting. And so that's what we're going to do first here.
I'll just say it. This place is amazing!
Why, thank you, Mike. This logic is really easy to hook up, and so I will not be creating any logic diagrams for this episode because you don't need them. So the first thing we're going to do is hook up the logic for Mike's car. And I'm going to place a couple of buttons back over here, kind of tucked out of the way just a little bit. And we're also going to need a vehicle summoner out of the gameplay toys drawer. And I'm going to just drop that right here next to that locator for right now. And I'm going to make just a little tweak here. I'm going to delete this tree. And we will slide this one forward. And then we're going to take our start pad and move it back over here. And you can put this in the middle of the street. You can put this off on the sidewalk there. But I want to do that just so that when the player comes into the toy box, they see the buttons. And when they push the button, it'll put the vehicle at that locator. So everything is right there in front of them. All right, so to hook this up, it's pretty simple. For the vehicle summoner, we're going to leave all of the properties set the way they are because we're not going to use any of these. So that's all fine. For the vehicle that we're going to use, though, I want to use Mike's car off of that power disc because it just fits this setting. And so let me come into the toy box, and I don't know if you saw, but it put Squishy way down there at the end. So the logic for adding and removing townspeople is working pretty good. Let's go ahead and drop down the power disk for Mike's car. And then we will go back into the editor. So to hook this up, we just need to make two logic connections. This first button will generate the car. So we'll do a new logic connection when pressed. Come over to the vehicle summoner. Go down to hexagonal power disks and select Mike's new car. If you don't have this power disk, any vehicle will work, whatever you like. And then to save memory, we'll hook this button up to take the car out. So a new logic connection when pressed. Come over to the vehicle summoner and remove all. And with this logic, by the way, you can push this button multiple times to get multiple cars. So if you have two players in the toy box, you can get two cars. And that's it. Oh, and one more thing, not quite it. We need to do a new locator connection. We'll connect that up to this locator. There we go. And now that's it. So now we can move this Creativitoy below the terrain with the rest of the Creativitoys that I moved down after the last episode. And there we are. And at this point, I'll go ahead and take that power disc off the base because we're done with that. We'll use the button over there in a minute to generate the car. All right, secondly, we need the vehicle weapons generators. And to find those, it's under Creativitoys. And it's right here, not too far from the button. And let me pull up my screen grabs here for this. So we're going to put several sets of these, a couple different sets of these out here. First one, we're going to put 3 of them over here in front of the clock tower. like that. And once again, you need to come into the properties and turn these on, because if you don't, these toys will not do anything. There we go. Now the next set of these will go up here on this bridge. We're going to place them right along here. And I want to space these out just a little bit, so that it's kind of easy, potentially, for the player to miss those. And once again, got to remember to turn them on. This is just a really good place to put these, because when the player comes up that slope and around that bend, you got this long straightaway here where fun things can happen. All right, and then the last set of these will go right over here. So we're going to go just past this terrain boundary. And the exact placement of this doesn't really matter, but for this we'll place just 2 of them. Again, I want to make it a little bit challenging and provide potential to miss these. So if you need this in order to get the guy ahead of you to potentially win the race, you're going to have to be skilled enough to hit this thing and not miss it, because you're going to be screaming around this corner. And it'd be really easy to go past those and miss them. All right, and with that, I think that is everything for the race. So we'll come over here, and we'll come out of the editor. And let's see if our logic for generating the car works. And there it is. All right. And here we go.
Man, am I glad to see you.
This is a fun toy box to race around in. Uh-oh, they all got weapons and I don't. Whoa. As you can see, these streets are a little bit narrow with those trees, which makes it a little bit challenging. Somebody was shooting at me from behind. Whoa! Ah. That means the people behind me are going to have weapons. Looks like I'm kind of a little ways ahead of most of them, though. Whoa! I don't like this weapon. Holly's right behind me. Whoa! Oh no! And there goes my lead. Just like that, I am back in 4th place. To save these missiles for down here. Oh no! Oh, nope. Oh, this is even better. Guided missile. Alright, 1 down. Oh no!
Funny.
Thought I had him. I might just try to shoot that forward if I could. Oh no, I don't think I'm going to finish first. Oh, I wanted to keep the... Yeah, there's nobody ahead of me. Well, I finished third. So yeah, that's a pretty challenging race. But with that, my Monstropolis toy box is done. Unfortunately, I do not have the memory on my Wii U to do anything more in this toy box. But as I mentioned in the playthrough video, if you are on a system with more memory, feel free to add more missions and games of your own. If you need an idea, I think the paintball challenge from my Player Battles miniseries, Episode 1, would be a great game to add to this toy box. Next time, we'll begin working on the Monsters, Inc. factory interior, starting with the build that I know many of you are eagerly waiting for, the Scare Floor. You won't want to miss that, so be sure to subscribe to my channel or follow me on my blog. Also, before you go, please hit the like button and leave a comment to let me know what you think of Monstropolis now that it's done. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day!